Hello and welcome to the video by TrumpExcel. I'm Sumit Bansal, and in this video I'm going to show you how to combine data from multiple Excel workbooks into one workbook using Power Query. In the previous videos we have seen two methods of doing this. One was the append method and the second one was excel.currentWorkbook function. Now, the current workbook formula would not work because it only works in the current workbook, and because we have multiple files, we cannot use that method. But we can use the append method, and we would see how to do this. The process is almost the same. In one of the previous videos, I showed you how to use append to combine multiple tables in the same workbook. And in this case, the only difference is that these tables are in different workbooks. So here I have this blank workbook, and what I want to do is on the desktop I have these files: East data, West data, North data, and South data. And if I show you one of these workbooks, you can see I have these data, this sales data for each region in a table in this workbook, and my tables have been named as East underscore data and West underscore data. So let me close this. And in this workbook, I'm going to start with going to the data tab, and here I would go to get data from file from workbook. And when I click on this, it'll ask me where the workbook is located. It could be on my desktop, it could be on a network drive, it could be within a folder. In this case, I would start with East data, click on import. This would open the query editor, and here it will show me the objects in that workbook. Now in objects, it will show me the data tables, it will show me the Excel tables, the name ranges, and the sheet. If I click on this, and you can see the icon for this is sheet and this is a table. If I click on East sheet, it will show me this data, and you can see it's not in the best possible format because I'll have to delete the top two rows and create the headers and everything. But if I click on the table, it's in the right format. So if you have a table, prefer using an Excel table, else you can also use a sheet. Now I have a table here. Let me click on edit to open this in the query editor. And I need to do a couple of checks. First is I need to make sure that the data types are correct. In this case, because I'm using an Excel table, the data types are already picked up and these are right, these are fine. But it doesn't have the region column. I don't know if the data is from East or West or North or South. So I would have to go to add column, and I would have to create a column here. So I would name this region. Again, make sure that the name region is consistent for all the workbooks that you want to combine. So when you combine all these tables and open it in Power Query, make sure this name is the same. And in this case, I would have East in double quotes and click OK. It enters, it creates this column. Let me bring this to the beginning of the table. And now I would click on File, Close and Load To. And instead of inserting it in this workbook, I would only create a connection. So this connection is created, and similarly I need to do this for all those workbooks. So let me quickly do this. I would go to get data from file from workbook. Here I would select North data. I would click on the North data table, click on edit. It will open that in the query editor. Here everything else is fine. I just need to go to add column, custom column. This would be named region, and this would be North. Click OK and drag this to the beginning of the table. Go to File, Close and Load To. Only create connection. Again, I'll go to get data from workbook, this time South. Go to add column, custom column. This would be region, this would be South. Click OK, drag this to the beginning of the table. Go to File, Close and Load To, connection. And finally for the last one, which is West, select the table, click on edit, go to add column, custom column, region West, and drag it to the beginning. Come to File, Close and Load To, only create connection. Now what I can do is, because I have all these connections here, I can simply append these. So I would go to data, get data, combine queries, append, and it will open the append dialog box. Since I have more than 2 tables, I would select this option, select all these tables, click on add. You can reorganize these and you can change the sequence if you want. And when I click OK, see what happens. It opens the entire combined data set in the query editor. The name of the query is append1. If I want, I can change this to consolidated data, and everything seems fine. If you want, you can just quickly check the data types, because that's important, and if those data types are fine, then you can put this in the workbook. Let me quickly check this, and you can see here it says data type any, which is not right, so I would change this to text. The date is fine, these are text, these are whole numbers, and this is decimal, which is fine. So now I would go to file and close and load to, and when I do this, it will insert a new sheet and put the data here in the new sheet. Now I have the consolidated table. You can see it says 1303 rows that are loaded. Now I have this table here, but the power of the Power Query here is that if I get a new data set, so let's say I get a new data next month for East, I can simply come here, copy the new data, delete the one that I have, and paste this data here, and I can go back and refresh the query. So if I come here, see it's 1303 rows, but when I come here and I refresh the query, it would instantly update and this becomes 1403 because my new data has 100 new records. Or what you can do is, in case you do not have the file names that are consistent, so for example in this case the file names were East data and West data, but if you get something which is not a consistent file name and you get a new file, you can put the new file here in your system or in your network drive, and you can go to the East data query and change the source here. So you click this step, you click on the gear icon here in the source step, and it allows you to change the file location or the file workbook name. So here you can see file path is this. You can browse and you can connect to the new workbook that you have got for the next month or the new data, and click OK. And when you do that, it would instantly update the entire data set. Let me close this. So this is how you can create connections from different workbooks and then combine the data from different workbooks into one single workbook as a consolidated table. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Thank you and have a nice day.